the most confusing concepts, I think, is the idea of feedback for professional learning. Of course, most of us know feedback has a pretty high effect size in John Hattie's visible learning. A 0.75 is effect size, which is really kind of right up there. And so you'd think, naturally, of course, feedback is a good thing. And sometimes it is, but other times it's not so great. In fact, sometimes it can actually interfere with learning. So I'd like to talk about what feedback is and break it down to two concepts, hopefully help you figure out how to use feedback in coaching. I want to distinguish between what I call technical feedback and dialogical feedback. Technical feedback is what happens when you have a situation where it's cut and dried and crystal clear what the person's supposed to do. So when I was a kid, maybe 5 or 6 years old, I grew up on a farm. My dad was my first hockey coach, took me down on the pond when the ice froze and showed me how to play hockey. And he said, now you want to skate backwards, here's what you do. And he would show me what to do. And he'd say, you need to skate backwards, C's in the ice. Just carve your skate like this. And then he would show me, and then I would do it. And he'd say, no, 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 no. You're not curving your skate enough. It's got to be a bigger skate. Use the inside edge of your blade on your skates. And he would show me, and he would give me feedback. And in those kind of situations where it's cut and dried, crystal clear, this is how you do the thing, then that technical feedback makes a heck of a lot of sense. And I think when we look at the effect size of feedback, that's where it's really powerful. It's powerful with something that's black and white. Is this a complete sentence or not? What's it missing? Is the answer this or is the answer that? Technical feedback can be really helpful. Technical feedback's not so helpful when what we're looking at is something that's complex, like, for example, teaching. The notion that there's one correct way to do this, and I'm going to tell you what the right way is, and you need to do it my way, runs up against the complexities of the classroom, because most teachers would say it's not that simple. It's not just cut and dry. In fact, Ron Heifetz, a leadership researcher at Harvard, says that the biggest mistake that leaders can make is confusing technical challenges with adaptive challenges, trying to apply simple recipe, cut and dried solutions to really complex situations. So what do you do when you're in a situation that's as complex as a classroom? Then you take a dialogical approach to feedback, which is to say, instead of me telling you what the right answer is and telling you what you should do, we sit down and the two of us look at data or look at student performance, or we look at maybe video of the lesson, and we engage in dialogue about the content. It's not me telling you what to do. It's the two of us exploring things together. In a complex situation, we're better to have a multiple perspective on it than just one perspective on what the solution might be. Keegan and Leahy, in their book, How the Way We Talk Affects the Way We Work, they say this top-down feedback, the idea that I'm going to tell you how to deal with a complex situation. The assumption behind it is that there's only one right answer, and I happen to be the one with the answer. But the reality is, when it comes to solving the complexities of the classroom, exploiting opportunities, what you really want to do is get as many possible solutions as you can. And that's not going to come from top-down feedback, from directive feedback, from technical feedback. It's going to come from dialogue, from two people looking at a third point together.